Good morning, School of Light. We are in a new book today, the book of Esther. So, really a incredible book. It's been probably a year since I read it, but there's a lot of history. Xerxes is the one of the main characters. Esther, um, Mordecai. So let's hop right to it. This is what happened during the time of Xerxes. The Xerxes, who ruled over 127 provinces stretching from India to Kush. At that time, King Xerxes reigned from his royal throne in the citadel of Susa. And in the third year of his reign, he gave a banquet for all of his nobles and officials. The military leaders of Persia and Media, the princes, and the nobles of the province were present. For a full 180 days, he displayed the vast wealth of his kingdom and splendor and the glory of his majesty. When these days were over, the king gave a banquet lasting 7 days in the enclosed garden at the king's palace, for all the people from the least to the greatest who were in the city of Susa. The garden had hangings of white and blue linen, fastened with cords of white linen and purple material to silver rings and marble pillars. There were couches of gold and silver on a mosaic pavement of porphyry, marble, mother of pearl, and other costly stones. Wine was served in goblets of gold, each one different from the other, and the royal wine was abundant, in keeping with the king's liberality. By the king's command, each guest was allowed to drink in his own way, for the king instructed all the wine stewards to serve each man what he had wished. Queen Vashti also gave a banquet for the women in the royal palace of King Xerxes. On the seventh day, when the king Xerxes was in high spirits from the wine, he commanded the 7 eunuchs who served him, Mehuman, Bitsa, or Biztha, Harbona, Bigtha, Abag, Abagatha, Zethar, and Carcass, to bring before him Queen Vashti wearing her royal crown in order to display her beauty to the people and nobles, for she was lovely to look at. But when the attendants delivered the king's command, Queen Vashti refused to come. Then the king became furious and burned with anger. Since it was customary for the king to consult experts in matters of the law and justice, he spoke with the wise men who understood the times and were closest to the king. Karshina, Shithar, Admatha, Tarshish, Meres, Marsena, and Memucan, the 7 nobles of Persia and Media, who had special access to the king and who were the highest in the kingdom. According to the law, what must be done to Queen Vashti? He asked. She has not obeyed the command of King Xerxes that the eunuchs have taken to her. Then Memucan replied to the presence in the presence of the king and the nobles, Queen Vashti has done wrong, not only against the king, but also against all the nobles and the people of the province of King Xerxes. For the queen's conduct will become known to all the women, and so they will despise their husbands and say, King Xerxes commanded Queen Vashti to be brought before him, but she would not come. This very day, the Persian and Median women of the nobility who have heard about the queen's conduct will respond to all the king's nobles in the same way. There will be no end of disrespect and discord. Therefore, if it pleases the king, let him issue a royal decree and let it be written in the law of Persia and Media, which cannot be repealed, that Vashti is never again to enter the presence of King Xerxes. Also, let the king give her royal position to someone else who is better than she. Then, when the king's edict is proclaimed throughout all of his vast realm, all the women will respect their husbands from the least to the greatest. The king and his nobles were pleased with his advice, so the king did as Memucan proposed. He sent dispatches to all the parts of the kingdom, to each province in its own script, and to each people in its own language, proclaiming in each people's tongue that every man should be ruler over his own household. Household. There it is, household. That's a big thing in the Bible. It's your household. That's what you're a steward of. Your your job a lot of times, as far as I think, what God thinks, or as far as God looks at, He's going to grade you. He's going to judge you. He's going to compare you to how you manage your household. How did you manage it? Were you great to your children? Did you show them love, discipline, and then as they got older, guidance, direction, um, your household, whatever it is, your family, your son, your daughter, your mother. You could be the one that's taking care of an older parent. That's your household. Your brother, your sister, your neighbors, your business. That's your household. So Queen Vashti didn't want to obey King Xerxes. And so they say, hey, replace her with someone better. And they are with Esther. Esther is way different than this Queen Vashti. When the king asked her to do stuff, he would. She asked him to do something very humbly, but saved a whole race of people from total annihilation. God bless. I hope that is a good Bible study and good reading through the Bible for you. If you want Bible studies, contact me. Let me know. They come in through the mail, correspondence, no cost to you, ages 4 through adult. And once you finish your series, you get a certificate of completion. The main thing being is that you get the Word of God into your heart, into your mind, so that you can meditate upon it day and night, so that you may be prosperous and successful. That's Psalms 1, I believe. So, interesting chapter, new chapter, Esther. It's going to get really good. I'm looking forward to this. God bless. Have a good day.